Um, so, hey guys, here's another video, and in this video we are going to look into a template that I wrote for Discord bots. So, if you are interested in like writing your own Discord bot or have written maybe few Discord bots before, and you want to write some better ones with like the updated library, which is React 14 point something. Mm, you can check it here. So 14.17 with TypeScript support, so you get like everything around the typings. You don't assume stuff. You know what I mean? So now let's begin. Now this is the repo. Like there's a repo I just posted. Like you can find the code link to in the description. And yeah, like here's the starting point of the bot itself. It looks like pretty much, but it's really very simple. It's the minimalistic that one can write. So there are some supporting functions like because it is TypeScript, so you use npm, so it does like regular refreshing. And yeah, there are some like commands for prettier and TypeScript and blah 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 ESLint. So so apart from that, you can just read about it, like here how to set up a node project, and how to set up like TypeScript in it, and then prettier. These are like blog written by same guy. Pretty much pretty awesome, pretty awesome, very very good job. So back to the topic, Discord bots. So if you want to write your own Discord bot in like the latest version of mm, Discord JS library, which is like the Node.js official library for Discord. So you gotta follow this. So let's begin. This is the first. I'm going to instantiate the bot class. Bot class is nothing but bunch of methods stored in it. So let's see the constructor. Before looking into constructor, there are few public variables and private variables. So commands, I load all the commands in a variable, and then there is a command array. These both are pretty much similar but not exactly. I will show you like why these are like two different ones and not a single one. Then there is config. So you have some like this. You have a bot token, Discord ID, blah blah blah. You can later add a admin role ID, and all of that can be accessed without actually accessing the config file, because you can change like the location, or you can change the type of config. Maybe there's another file called config.dev.ts that I personally use to store the dev credential, and then there's like config.ts or config.prod.ts to store the production credentials. If I want to switch between them, it will be a very messy way to like just switch from every place where you use config or import config directly, because it's a TypeScript file, so you can import it directly. I wouldn't recommend that. Instead, just import it here, and then through the instance that you will receive after initializing this class, instantiating this class, sorry. uh, Using that, you can like just access the like bot dot config like this. You can dot token, and you can access that as a string, and that's pretty much it. Like this is the thing that I'm talking about. Okay, now apart from this, well, let's look into constructor. Now constructor requires a client, which is we are like passing here. You see a new, we are creating a new client from Discord itself. So a client is nothing but basically a disk what we are telling Discord that we need to make a connection to their API, Discord bot API, with some particular intents. Now what are intents? Intent is basically a gateway with some particular permissions. Now you need some permissions uh, to do stuff with like the bot, in which server bot is added. Like you want to read the content, you want to react to the messages that are you want to react and you want to, like, listen to all the reactions that are being done to the message. You want to directly send message and blah blah blah. You can google themselves, and there are like so many more. But the way how you add indents is changed. So I would really recommend, if you are not using Discord 14, don't follow this tutorial. This is for only Discord 14. Now back to the constructor. I'm just getting now I'm getting the new client from the Discord. Now it's a client that is not logged in. So first thing I will do is log in the client, and then add two event listeners, which which are quite common. Like, if you get some warning while logging in, you will log them, of course, and otherwise you will get error, and you will log the error. So I mean, that's pretty much it. That's how we log in the Discord bot. Once this code runs, you will be able to see that your Discord bot is actually logged in. Now, there are few events and there are like commands, right? You want to use slash command and you want to listen to few events and make appropriate respond to that event, like whenever someone join your guild or server, whatever, or whenever someone types slash test or maybe slash ban, right? So you want to do those things, but before doing those, you need to actually start listening to events or register the commands, or actually parse the command to be able to execute them. Now let's start with import event. Actually, one more thing I just remember in my last video, which was technical. Uh, someone told me that the text is too small, so they cannot see it. So let me increase the text size. Sorry, I didn't remember before. Now, if you do import, I'm calling here first thing import event. Now, what this is doing is just a file read using fs library. uh, yeah, and you are reading all the files within this folder, which is like one directory back, and then there's like the different directory called events. Now there are two events which are, one is like when when you click on a button, or maybe fill a form in a Discord, or just like a drop down or something, you interact with them, then it's called an interaction. When interaction happens, this event executes. Now this is in a form of JSON, right? Like, this is not exactly JSON. These are key value pairs. Now I am taking those from each file, and I am like taking those. So this is array of uh, all of these, and like this is array of all the like names of the file, and then from each name of the file I actually import the code itself. So this thing, so whatever this is like exporting, I import it here. So for each file I import the default exports, which is the event details. Now, because this is export default, you need to write default here. So the current event looks like this. Now if the current event is once, means if you can see here, there is once thing, right? So if current events is once, meaning if it only triggers once in the application by the bot. So your bot can only get ready once. If you to get ready every 10 minutes, then your bot must be restarting. That's not a good thing. Once your bot starts, which is at the beginning when you run the command start the bot, you will receive this message, and that's it. You won't receive this message again unless you restart the bot or something weird happens. Check that out if it happens, right? Now, this is not a once command. You can click button 1,000 times. This will respond 1,000 times, or this will actually catch the interaction 1,000 times. What is an interaction? Interaction is an object that you will receive when someone interacts with a maybe a button or any component that is, well, legal by Discord, or and this bot has sent it. Now if you interact with that component that is sent by this bot in a message or something, now interaction will come here. You can through the interaction you can actually check what type of interaction it is. Currently I'm just doing interaction dot is command, and if it is not a command then return, because interaction can have multiple types, you know. Now if it's a command, then you know what you do, you take the bot instance dot command. Now you can see like why I have dot commands as a public thing here and this is private. I will explain this later, but you see, to load each command, what this is doing is this is populating this array in the next function. But let's discuss that even a bit later. This is a collection of each command in, like, as in command name and the command data basically. So it takes command, then get, and then name. So it's a dictionary or a collection. Now get function takes the the key side, and check this value against the key. Once you receive the once you receive the key, once you receive a like a key value pair for that particular key, then it may be there, may not be there, then that's why it's optional chaining. Then you execute the event. Now event, and execute the command. The command is just a function that you wrote. So if I show you, there's a one test command. So you see there are two things. There's a data is command description, and then there is a command execution. So here you are executing the same thing. Once you once you get the right command. So if I write /123 or slash not test, that won't work. The command name is test, so you have to write /test. Once you do, you will get an execution here. Now this is an interaction. You can reply to that interaction and you can do some crazy shit like ephemeral true, so your response will be only seen by the same user. Or maybe even like show modal, so your user can actually type something in that and submit that, and you can even handle that also in a different interaction, or maybe in the same one but a different time kind of interaction. You can be creative here, that's what I'm trying to say. Now uh, I hope you get it right. uh, all right, so where were we? Now you know what this means. So client dot once means event that execute once, so you load that event, so you listen for that. And client dot on means a event that can happen multiple times. An event that can happen multiple times can be anything, like you can write a freaking message, you can send messages multiple times, that's an event. That's called create message. And there are more events like interaction create that we just saw, clicking a button, some like submitting a like executing a command, submitting a modal, or even selecting from a drop down menu. Those are all under the category of uh, interaction create event. Now those comes under this. So we will take that data. ah Fuck, we will take that data, and current event we will do the dot execute. So if you go to interaction create, so this execute, we are executing here. Now this execute is a function, right? And we pass the args. Args are nothing but the interaction itself. So you get the, so API send you the data about the interaction that happened, right? So for this event, so this is a event. Basically, something happens in Discord, you get the alert with the details in Discord bot, and you can respond to that as you wish. And if you do not wish to respond, you can just do some other business level operation like updating something in database. On the same note, if you want to connect to database also, just create a like a private thing, private db, okay, and any, and just do maybe like mongoose dot connect, and then this. Now what you are trying to do here is connecting to mongoose. Now once you have connected to mongoose, or like the mongodb, maybe the mongodb, once you have connected to mongodb, you can assign a connection from this. So if you are using mongodb, MongoDB, then you are creating a new instance using a MongoDB URI, and you don't need this option. And then it's called con, and you can, this .db is equals to like this. From this connection you can select a database, and maybe it's a test, so this .db contains that. Now bot.db, so even here bot.db will actually this is a private function, private, so I need to make it public so it can be used outside the yeah, see, bot.db collection blah 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 can be done here. So you see how easy it gets once you have this generic class thing in the first place to be able to do stuff like connecting to a database, using it throughout the application. If you need to change database from like maybe NoSQL to SQLize or something like that, you can just change it at one place and everything else remains same. How cool is that? I know, right? uh so just to understand this one, let's go through slash command. A slash command, you are doing nothing but exactly same thing. The first line says 49, it says go check the folder name commands, and in from the each file you create a list of string which is the name of the file under the folder called test, under, sorry, commands, so which is like test.ts. Now, what I'm trying to say here in the second line is you go through all the file names, and from for the each file name I know where the file came from, right? From the each file name dynamically import whatever they are exporting as the default value. So export default is data, and execute function. Data is basically data about the command itself, which is a command builder, well, a slash command builder to be exact. And then there is execute, which is to like perform operation based on the command you ran. Now once you do, you get a command, then you do dot default, because this is important. If you are doing export, if you are just doing export, if you are just doing like exports dot, maybe I don't know, export const a equals to a. If you are doing this, then it's fine, you don't need to do dot default here. But if you are trying to do export default, which certainly makes sense, if you're trying to do this, which makes sense because, well, you're not exporting anything else, so just the one thing, right? So if you're trying to do this, so command dot default is very important. Otherwise you will get some weird error and you will just bang your head around it. I have had this experience before, that's why I'm telling. So this dot command dot set, then what we will do is populate this command collection. Commands collection will get populated by the name as the key and the value, this whole thing, this whole mess, the command, current command, which is even the data and the execute part, both the whole object. Now once this command is in this array, I can like load this message says command is loaded, because now I have loaded the command. I'm also doing this. So this, there's data part, like there's a test command, right? In the test command there is a data part which tells about the command itself. Apart from its execution, which is important, we need to know about the command itself also to be able to register that, so we can use it in a particular or all the servers where our bot is in. Now command.data does exactly same, but we turn it to JSON because we need to pass it to the server, a Discord server, through some APIs, to tell the server that please register this command because our server users will require to run this command to use the bot. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So this commands array, this is a private variable or a member, you know of the class bot, and it contains this JSONified data around the command. So it's just a command info. Once, like, if I have like pushed all the commands in it, what I'm trying to do is running the third function, which is register command. Now, what register command does is it waits for, well, 2.5 second, because within 2.5 second, I think any slow shitty computer can go through almost like, I mean, hundreds of commands. 2.5 seconds is a lot of time. So after 2.5 second, what we will do is we will make this call to a REST API, which is version 9. I don't know the specifics, but you passed your token, so you know what bot you are registering for, and then you make a put request to this application guild commands route, and you pass the client id, which is coming from config, but you can just pass it on your own also. It's the user id of bot. And the second thing is guild id, so the guild you want to register command for. Now, I want to mention this: if you want, you can broadcast your command to all the guilds the bot is in. But if you are in the development mode, you probably want to just go through a particular server where you are testing your bot and do that there, because it takes some amount of time, like maybe 10 or 20 minutes, to broadcast to all the servers the bot is in. So it's really easier to just put it in one server, and mostly your bot will be in one server unless you are doing some weird shit where the bot needs to be in every server. Well, if you are that experienced, you don't need to see this tutorial in the first place, so shut up. Now, in the body, I just pass the whole array itself. See how easy it is. That's why I was trying to import every, like, push. Fuck. So that's why I was trying to push every data, every JSONified data amount about the command into this command array, so I can push it at last and make it available to the server where I am testing the bot. So that happens after 2.5 seconds of bot being started. Oh shit, my hand. I'm in a very wrong posture. I need to fix it, but I'm too lazy to do that. Well, I really hope I was able to make you understand how this whole thing works. So this is just one file. Now, are there any other files? Hell, I don't know. You can see for yourself. You are not blind, right? Well, there are some files like this types. So you see the how the command, you know, the command here, you have to do this data thing and then execute thing. I was thinking, how about make a make something like event like this for a command also. So I can take command name and then command description. um, you can see the resemblance maybe here. So I can take command name, which is there, command description, which is there, maybe an alias if this is non slash command, and then you probably require a prefix also. But the permissions, maybe administrator or whatever. And then cooldown. Cooldown is important because consecutive running commands, so cooldown. Now, I didn't do it because there were some more things to it, like options. How would you write options? Now, I would need to write at least 20 30 lines of interface for the command to be able to completely support all the command, all any variation of command I want to write here. Now, instead of doing that, currently I'm just running the command builder directly here. So idea was to just take this all the input in the form of key value pairs here instead of just building the command each time. And then when I import it using, give me a second, think index, when I import it in the class, then it just, you know just like the just like this event, I also parse the different portions of the command and make even maybe even call the command builder there. Let me show you this command slash command builder in here for each of the iteration of the command, and then pass it to like the below flow that I explained. That would be easier for user to like fill the thing and all. but that will certainly create the complexity for me to write the whole thing again. For now, to be honest, it works. It works pretty well, and because this is TypeScript, I don't even have any problem like writing more things, because as you can see, if I want to add a like a sub command, or maybe like add a sub command, right? So I can just add the sub command. There's freaking Copilot helping me here, as you can see. Fucking Amy. uh, oh boy, as you can see how easy it is with sub command. Like, we have a sub command, and if I even if I you don't have Copilot, you hate it for some reason, you can literally add anything you want. I mean, you see, you get the option, like you can have name here, and test2, and description, and then like this, and yeah, like you can see like how easy it gets, like, right? So maybe I got over myself. So that's my point of using TypeScript for bot is just blessing, Discord supports TypeScript, so you should take advantage of it and write something like this. And this is basically the reason why I don't write my own, but I'm in process, maybe thinking or convincing my own self, which is pretty hard, to be honest. Now, there are some things like ESLint and shit. I don't want to run those for now, and I don't want to even run this bot. I'm too lazy to show you, like, just switch to a Discord server. And if you are expecting me to just explain you how to create a token, how to register a bot, then fuck off, really. I cannot do that shit. It's not me, man. I'm sorry. I can just give you an overview. Test is nothing but shit. If you install the npm I correctly, you will get to run the bot in a development mode. So whenever you make changes, bot will restart. In the build, you can remove the current build and you can generate a new build. How to generate a new build? Well, TypeScript does that for you. That's why you have this tsconfig. You dumbass. See, output directory you already mentioned. There is one. Now there's a lint, so you can see all the linting problems in your code, and then lint and fix. If you are too lazy to fix those linting problems, then you can, well, fix. Prettier watch, it just sees, like, it just checks for all the changes in your formatting of the code, and then prettier format just formats all the things in your code. Like, it's pretty cool. So you need to run these two commands before committing, or just write your own pre-hook to run those commands for you before committing, you ungraceful bastards. And you can change the configs here. I have added pretty, like, some decent configs which were in the blog, because I'm not a big brain. But you can add some more, like Airbnb and stuff, which are like pretty common and popular. This is it. I think I explained most part of the bot, but if you have some question, like if you ask me like what is VS Code .vs Code, I will definitely kill you. Now these are just options for my personal preference, how I want to, like, so when you paste something, or when you save something, you need to format your code. So that's it. You can editor.tab, and you can specify stuff like that. It's the settings for your editor for current workspace, which is this one. So if your friends work with you, they use the same, uh, and they, like, VS Code recognize that file and let your friends use the same styling as you, so your code looks much better than some ugly piece of shit code. Well, I think this is it. I don't need this. I made change for no certain reason. I really don't need this. And what else do I don't need? Well, I can just write. Well, in any case, so I'm done with the tutorial here. If you have any questions, just comment down below, and I'm happy to show you. And if you have any question, if you have any question about anything, any other technology, just let me know. I will create another video. Give me some ideas, dude. I am getting I'm getting bored and running out of ideas. If you want to know what's happening in my personal, not a personal life, but professional life, uh, I'm doing I'm doing currently doing some job, and I joined in January itself. So I'm like a back-end developer in a startup, in a new startup. And well, new for me actually. It's not a new startup. It's new for me, and I'm currently leading maybe one or two projects there, and that's pretty cool. And yeah, being doing some work. I'm very busy. When this video is recorded in like night time, so like 3 o'clock. So yeah, busy days. Well, in the next video, I might start a series on cloning Discord bot, or maybe some functionalities of Discord bot, maybe how they are implemented, on the backend side, and how you should proceed about them, what technologies should we use. Well, I'm not genius and I'm not a pro developer, but it matters, maybe. In any case, see ya.